When you're at this early stage and you're trying to win your first pieces of work, you're going to also need to factor in somewhere along the lines that you're also going to need to be making content to be able to share on various channels. Now, that can be pieces of content for your website, that can be posts on social media, but it is something which you're going to need to do, and you're going to need to do on an ongoing basis. It's going to be one of those things which, you know, you're never going to not need to do it. Creating content like this is an incredible way at both demonstrating your expertise and also just keeping you in the minds of other people on those given channels. The next question is obviously, well, what type of content do you create? Now, in this instance, this all ties back to your audience, it all ties back to the services that you want to offer, and it all ties back to the markets that you want to be operating in. So take, for example, that you were looking to work on social media in the fashion industry. Now, for that, it would make perfect sense for you to have an Instagram account, because from that Instagram account, you can demonstrate your ability to do great photography, to build up followers, to get really good levels of engagement, and to just understand the Instagram ecosystem that exists there. So if you were to flip it another way and you were looking at working with technical software companies, for example, you might be delving into very technical blog posts about different aspects of marketing that they could potentially benefit from. Anything you do needs to link back to the audiences that you are trying to communicate with, and what those channels you are posting on are going to also link back to the work you did in terms of researching the audience personas that we covered previously. In terms of how much content you should create, I would try and make things really, really easy and just set yourself a goal which you know you can absolutely smash. The reason for this is that therefore you can accomplish it easily, and it means that you can therefore build up momentum going forwards. There are so many freelancers and so many businesses that jump into creating content and they say, I'm going to be posting every day on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. I'm going to be writing 3 blog posts a week. I'm going to be trying to do videos. And you know what? There is no point, because it is overwhelming, and within the first couple of weeks, you already have missed your targets. Now, the importance for this is that therefore, if you were to pursue that, it demoralizes you. You just go, oh, I don't have any time, and it never gets done. Me personally, my strategic goals with regards to creating content are an occasional update on LinkedIn, Twitter, pretty much every other day in terms of technical information, mainly revolving around SEO, which demonstrates my expertise in the industry. The other area of content which I focus on is doing a blog post, and that blog post I only do once a quarter. Now, the reason for that is that I would much rather go in and do a really in-depth, intensive, detailed piece of research rather than just trying to sort of post something every week, because I just don't find that that works for me in terms of my timescales. So what subsequently works for you and what channels you do it on is anyone's guess at this stage, based on, you know, your research that you've already done so far. You may find that that doesn't work for you, even from a business perspective, or the fact that, you know, the actual content you're talking about just doesn't resonate with the audience, in which case you're going to have to learn and adapt from it. It's still early stages for you, so you're not going to have this nailed down from day one, but you are going to need to be sharing content. So from this, make sure that you have got time allocated from now and going forwards on a regular basis to be creating content, and you need to make damn well sure that whatever content you create always aligns back to the audience that you want to get in front of. Now, just because you see another freelancer out there who's doing loads of content or doing loads of different content that isn't similar to what you're doing, doesn't mean that that is the right approach. Although they may seem very similar on the face of it, they could have very different audiences that they want to get in front of. Now, just some general advice about creating content. First of all, you know, you feel free to share other people's content. It's a very time-efficient way of you being able to demonstrate expertise, and there are an incredible array of experts out there. Always make sure you try and engage as much as possible with other people online. It's not just about creating the content, it is about sharing the content and trying to subsequently contact and message and tweet the people that may share it or like it or so on, to develop those conversations and subsequent relationships. And also bear in mind that so many topics have already been covered. Now, this isn't to say that you can't have certain pieces of content because it's like, oh, you know, someone else has already been there and done that. But whatever digital marketing content that you were trying to create, make sure that it tries to cover something a little bit different. If you were focusing on social media as the core part of your business, you know, the number of articles and vlogs and everything out there about like the best times to post on social media, you know, it's been done to death, and it's been done to death by people who are incredible experts at their field. So if there's something else that you can focus on that sort of hasn't been done before, then that can work really, really well. Often the best pieces of content which do work are independent sort of research pieces. And to be honest, the best way to do that, which I've personally found, is to go out and research other businesses as to what they're doing on social media and kind of write that up. So many freelancers will focus on kind of like best practices for X and the top 10 reasons why you should be doing Y, but actually doing the analysis of, you know, businesses, big businesses, small businesses, to what they are doing on social media or SEO or with email marketing or their digital strategies. It can be a really interesting, insightful way for other businesses to learn more. And they're the kind of businesses that subsequently I'm sure that you want to be working with as well. So that isn't hard and fast advice. That may not apply to you, but doing those kinds of things can make sure that the time and energy you are putting into creating content, you know, however big or small it is, can have more of an impact going forwards.